have Stephano with a lead. MVP plays him on Antica Shipyard now, a very strong map for Terran, but also the map where like first Zerg player to start with like ages ago at ESWC 2011. That was where Stephano used his Ultralisks. That was the Ling into Ultralisks on 3 bases that dominated this map in Zerg versus Terran for a long time. But now we have our Terran player starting to the right side of the map, LGIM's MVP, one of the most popular and probably best Terran players in the entire world.
Yeah.
And he's up against the Zerg player starting to the left, EGStephano. One of the most colorful personalities that we have in esports.
Yeah, quite literally with his player color sometimes.
Yeah, once again, starting at pink here.
There's only a few men who can really just choose pink and get away with it. Stephano, Parting, that's about it.
Yeah. Stephano, Parting, and gay people.
Yeah.
That's about it. I, for example, cannot wear pink. Not at all.
I can wear pink in-game, but out of game. Like, in-game I'm fine, but IRL, it's just not. I mean, maybe I could do pink hair or something, but probably not that either.
Yeah, I have a problem with the pink hair. I can't really pull that off.
I don't know. I think it'd be worth a shot.
I hate you. Well, in this game now, Stephano most likely going to start with the 15 hatch, of course, once again. But what he's going to do after that, your guess is as good as mine. This is a map that is traditionally a little bit tough for Zerg because of the high ground in the middle of the map and the 4th base that is not really easy to defend for Zerg against a good Terran player, which MVP definitely is. But Stephano is one of those players that is okay with this map. He goes into Ultralisk, or he used to go into Ultralisk on this map. This is kind of the Stephano style that we had like a year ago, as mentioned, at ESWC in 2011, a tournament that he actually won. I think against Marine King in the finals, if I'm not mistaken, with a 3-1. He also won on this map. But what he's going to do these days, that is a bit different. We've seen so many strategies here. A very intensive lair game where you go into Mutaling Baneling. We've seen drops even on this map with roaches on Drone Supply. Very, very rare these days, but could still happen. More common, though, is Broodlord timing. Ultralisks are still good. So there are various strategies that you can use. Even roach attacks in the early game.
Yeah. I have a question for you, Color. I don't know if you know the answer to this, but I feel like you, out of more people, would know this.
Okay, so now if I actually fail, I feel bad. Go on.
Well, I mean, it's not really going to be a fail, but it's just it's just kind of weird. Do you know where Stephano got his ID? Because I don't actually know where he got that ID.
Wait, what?
Where he got his ID?
His ID? I actually asked him at some point, but I can't remember.
Like, when I first started following him, I actually thought it was his name. Like, I thought that was actually his name, and then I found out that was not the case.
I should know this. I asked him, but that was back in Warcraft 3.
So yeah, so I was like, you know, from Warcraft 3, so I figured maybe you would know, but look at that, Roach Warren fast again, by the way.
I asked him at some point, but it was not so, like, the explanation was not so awesome that I actually remembered it. Oh, does he? No, he didn't see the Roach Warren. But the Roach Warren is pretty early, so we will see Roach aggression here with a Zergling speed, by the way. So this could be a Speedling follow-up. That has been a bit out of style. I remember cheesing Terrans on ladder with Roach and.
See, I knew you weren't the only. I knew you weren't the only GSL caster now.
He cancelled it. He actually cancelled it. Interesting. Faked the speed here. And now he uses the.
Wow, this is so cool
gas.
Because he shows the speed. You can actually see the spawning pool ripples when you go to scout.
That is pretty awesome, Stephano. Look at that. I was wondering how he would make that work with his timing. I was like, wait, a Speedling follow up for roaches. We haven't seen that in a while. I was like, okay, this is like an old cheese that you can use. I'm like, how is he gonna make that work? And yeah, with the gas cancel, this is of course a completely different scenario right now, and one that MVP might not be ready for. Even though he goes for the tech lab at the barracks, but if he has the first Marauders out in time, that's something that I'm not quite so sure about.
Cross positions gives him a little bit more time. I think he'll have like one Marauder out and he's going to have to micro his heart out. He's got that spot waiting for him in the bunker. It's going to be really nice.
He goes for Marines.
Wow, a Marine. He just wants to go stem. Yeah.
And he doesn't have any idea at all, Wolf.
He
has no clue.
idea. 6 drones, by the way, behind this for Stephano. He starts to add his additional gases. He's got to put all of his attention now on this micro, though. 30 SCVs to 23 until those drones pop.
MVP still doesn't know.
Oh, he's waiting for more roaches to come across, too. And here they come.
Now he knows, and here come the roaches, and he had only 2 marines in the bunker. He needs to take SCVs down, and that's what he's going to do now. He's focusing on the workers, taking down one harvester after another, and he still has enough roaches available. Immediately MVP switches into marauders, but this is a lot of damage potential by Stephano.
He's gonna lose the bunker, I feel.
Yeah, he will.
The mule is repairing, but now it's gone. Marines are gone as well. He should walk up that ramp right away. Make sure he pulls out the weakened Hellions. It looks like he's just going to camp down here at the bottom for a little bit.
Well, he tries to go up the ramp, but he already damaged those supply depots. Even if he has to back off, he can take them down.
Yep.
Supply depot 1 is gone. Supply depot 2 follows as well. Now the Hellions are being attacked. New SCVs that he can't just take down. And the problem is really the harvester count. This is not designed to take Terran down to kill him, but you want to kill as many SCVs as possible. And just look at the numbers here for MVP.
Yeah. Now he's killed. There's very few SCVs left for him to kill, so he's going to go for the Hellions instead. It looks like he might get that last SCV.
Oh, he gets it. And this means that MVP is now at 19 harvesters against 46. He lost 16 workers, the supply depots, the bunker, and Hellions.
And Stephano, I think, has made the perfect choice in not taking the third base, but taking the macro hatch instead. Because this is not something that MVP can deny. And Stephano's production will be so good, he'll be able to easily take a third base with that. He's already spreading his creep towards that.
Stephano has a major lead in the game now. He is in an awesome position to take this with a 2-0. MVP is trying to have a look at the third, which is not there yet, but the creep is being spread, as you already pointed out. The Hellions not paying attention, one of them dying, roaches to defend, and now with the safety net that he has, Stephano heading into double upgrades, heading to the hatch, and into Leia and the macro hatch. We'll probably get a third base now. Yep, the drone's on its way. Great position for MVP.
I feel like, I don't want to say MVP is predictable, but I feel like players have kind of figured out his style. If he goes to the late game, you can hardly ever beat him, but almost everybody attacks MVP early with some sort of pressure. Whether it's that really interesting Hydralisk roach timing, or if it's just an early roach attack, or if it's that big muta-baneling attack at the third. Everybody knows that MVP is scary in the late game, and MVP's changed up his style this game. He's going to be playing bio.
You know, his problem really was that he didn't have a scout on the map. He didn't see what was coming. Yeah. He didn't have the Hellions in position. He was waiting for 4, didn't go out with 2. So he never saw this coming. He couldn't prepare. If he would have seen, then he just would have started his Marauder production a little bit faster, and he would not have been like fine, like yeah, no damage done at all, but it would have been a lot less.
Yeah, a lot less indeed. Now he's got his roach speed upgrade on the way, so Stephano's going to be sticking with the roach a little bit longer. I think he expects some mech composition again. This is where MVP may surprise him a little bit. There's no scout for Stephano. He hasn't actually gone with an overseer in the main to verify.
We have such a huge lead in harvesters now for him. The economy is so much better. MVP can't even dream of getting in a third base now. He can get the command center, but he cannot take the third.
He can't consider even lifting. The Hellions are sneaking around to make sure that they can get a little bit of damage done. They could go and check for a hidden base, but I think it would be more normal for him to just go run into the third base, try to kill harvesters, and he is going to be undetected for a little bit longer, but
the
Hydralisk Den, and this is a great thing to do when you're ahead.
Yeah, he's already ahead in the game, and with a Hydra push, he can make a lot work here. You know, he will be against. I'm not quite sure if he tries to break through 2 bases.
I think he actually just wants to go at a third. He's going to see. He's got that Overlord in position. I think he's going to see whenever MVP tries to go and take the third base, he's going to fight on the open ground and just try to take down the siege tanks while they're moving.
I would be really surprised if Stephano tries to break through the defense of MVP. There are 3 tanks sieged up. If he can catch him off guard in the middle of those 3 bases, then yes, this is going to kill him. But up against a Terran player, if you are a Zerg player and you ever use the Roach Hydra composition into a sieged up Terran player, you know that this is a mistake that you only make once.
Yeah, and if you've watched StarCraft since 2010, you probably have seen it before and know why that it's very rarely used. That's why a lot of people, myself included, are getting really excited to see people just start to mix Hydralisk in.
So what I really want to see, and Stephano is doing it, Hive Tech, 4th base, playing his strengths. He has those Hydralisks on the map now, and they are really, really strong against whatever MVP can now throw against Stephano, being it Banshees, being it a push out,
Drop
even
ships
against drops, yeah.
The first 2 drops, by the way, very late here, but he is sending them out. This is again a problem of lack of gas. He doesn't have that gas from his third base, so he had to wait a little bit longer to get those medevacs out while he's getting stem combat shields plus 2/2 upgrades, which are, by the way, very behind Stephano's.
You know what's really good for well done by Stephano, and he's one of those players who really pays attention to those details. Look at the minimap. Overlords everywhere.
Yeah, no different ways for a drop to sneak by. Any drop that's coming will be seen. Then he can just move his Hydras back on creep at home into whatever base he needs to defend.
This is why a lot of Terran players go for one single Viking, because they want to shut all these Overlords down and make sure that there is a path that they can take to drop. But MVP did not really have the resources nor the time to do it with the early aggression from the French Zerg player. So Stephano has the perfect vision on the map.
And now this is the attack of the third that we were talking about earlier. He sends one Roach in to scout the siege tank positioning. Now he sees there's a tank there. He can actually attack those rocks with Hydralisk though, but he'll show his Hydralisk composition.
It will also show MVP or give MVP an opening to just react. +2/+2 is nearly done for Stephano though, and he has a very strong position on the map.
He's got 10 Hydras, I believe it is.
15.
No, 15
in total. 81 harvesters. And he goes into Ultralisks now. And we talked about the Ultralisks in general, also against Mac. But this is a bit of a different situation that he's facing right now compared to what we had in the game number 1, where he was up against Mini Razor. Ohana being a different map, and also the position for MVP much better. He was even with his opponent, and then the composition was not the best. This is also a bit of a better map because you have more surface area, not this many chokes in the middle of the map. And even the area in the middle between those 3 bases is a lot wider. Those Ultralisks can do way more damage. And if you tank with the Ultralisk and then you have them to protect the Hydras, that is actually a really nice move.
Yeah. Anything that tanks the Hydras is going to be great. Now the drop play has started. The Roach is here. Not going to be enough. That one Hydra is like, I'll take care of it. But not quite.
Yeah.
I like that Hydra's tail, man. Look at that tail.
Yeah, wiggles. +3/+3 been started. Range and armor. We have speed for the Zerglings at, well, roughly 17 minutes finishing. Standard timing here. Oh, no, wait a second. Not quite.
That one Hydra has given this dropship a lot of concern. You might want to drop them off target down the Hydra, then pick up.
Adrenal glands coming up. I don't think that we're going to see too many Zerglings for Stephano this time, but well.
He's prepared if he needs them. Look at his bank starting to get massive here.
He's clearing the creep tumors, and Stephano is like immediately, wait a second, what are you doing? Creep tumors, middle of the map? No way, my friend, I'm sorry. Even the third base is something that MVP just can't get because there's already creep spread at 4.
Yeah, MVP has got a really nice spread with his units, and he is nearing max, but just doesn't get that bank.
Look at that bank, yeah, 5,000 minerals for Stephano, and 1,400 gas.
He's also got 53 additional larvae he can use, so he could massively speedling up after this if he wants to.
Marine's now trying to claim the high ground, but then
this is where Hydralisks are going to be a little bit against a Bioforce. They're just not really going to be able to finish off those Marines very easily.
Against this many siege tanks, he has to be really careful, and the siege tanks are now in position, are closing the distance.
He actually just runs in and targets them down. Burst damage on those Hydras is insane, but not very many of them surviving.
And MVP also not going into this heavy mech, so we have him this time against this composition, of course, with Marine and tank. So not this many siege tanks, which makes the oh man, oh god, I don't even want to look at the production depth.
10 Ultralisks and 50 Zerglings to follow this up. The Hydras here trying to keep this base alive. You can see they can't really, they're similar to Stalkers in that they do damage in kind of in bursts, but if they can't kill the actual units, they become a problem. For example, stemmed Marines with medevac support.
MVP, even though he has a drop at the left, shutting down the 4th base for Stephano, are trying to. I don't think he has an answer for this.
The Ultralisks are going to be the big problem. But he's got that base up now, but the thing is that once he loses control of the high ground, the Hydras and Roaches can just start killing
the Zerglings alone take this down. He isn't sieged up, he's going to lose everything here. The Ultralisks are trying to get close, but they can't get past the Zerglings. That like, guys, we want to have a say in the fight as well. And then the Lings are like, nope.
And the Hydras even are giving them a problem. He's going to have to cancel his hatchery.
These drops are, of course, awesome to take down the 4th base. This is why Terran is so strong on this map against Zerg. But the main problem is that the attack from Stephano can probably not be stopped by MVP.
Not with this many Ultras. He's not going to be able to repair the planetary. In fact, he knows those units are going to try to run away. He doesn't even try to attack the planetary. He wants the units. He wants the meat.
The Lings are running into the natural now. They're attempting to. The rest of the army is being chased down by the Ultras. There's just too much. The drop at the 3rd base of Stephano is also being taken down by the Ultras. That's mass transfuse against the damage done.
Spore crawlers really help out as well, and man, Stephano has done this with 0 infestors.
Not a single one. Not a single infestor in the game, and GG.